Hey, how are you guys? I think I may have someone plowing in here in a minute, so if you hear something. But I wanted to go live real quick to talk about a post that Mark Wade just made. It's very upsetting to me. And so I kind of wanted to share it and talk about it and give it a moment, kind of as a time capsule of what's going on in the world, because this is devastating to me. And I'll go ahead and share my screen and kind of show you what it is. And we'll talk about it a little bit. Uh, you guys see, I just found out about this. Yeah. So let's talk about it, and I'll talk about why it's important to me, and then we'll go from there. So let's show the post in case you're not friends with Mark Wade. All right. So this one hurt. I'll read what Mark Wade said. I'll make sure you guys can see it. Yeah, you guys can see it. Okay. This one hurt Brian Augustus. Rest in peace. The Augustus family has asked me to let Brian's friends and fans know that Brian left us today after a sudden severe stroke over the weekend. I've spent a lot of time these last few hours writing a great deal about Brian and sharing those thoughts soon. But for now, I simply want to let everyone know Comics has lost a very kind and talented man who's been a big brother, one of the very best for nearly 35 years. If you're a friend or colleague or fan of Brian's, or frankly a fan of the work done by Himaga Renas, Mike Wingo, Mike Parbeck, Oscar Jimenez, Howard Porter, Travis Charcesa, or many, many other creators who owe their career to Brian, myself included, I'm asking you to send a card or note to the wife Nadine and daughter Carrie and Ann to express your condolences and tell them what he meant to you. So that's what happened with Mark Wade. So yeah, I wanted to jump on real quick and kind of talk about that. That did not happen with Brian Augusto. So for those who don't know, yeah, my wife's going to grab the keys for in a minute. Brian Azario wrote the book Crimson. Let me show you guys that. So Crimson is one of my favorite books of all time. This right here actually happens to be the single issue that is my favorite book of all time. If I could take all comic books that I've read, which is thousands upon thousands upon thousands, Crimson #7 is my favorite. Crimson #7 is a story of Alex Elder. Alex Elder is a vampire, and he meets up with 7 angels. And those angels are basically deciding whether or not he should be killed right there or allowed to live out, because he's prophesied to be the end of the world, which is crazy. So Brian Azario wrote this story, and this story really, really touched me. It's one of the first independent books I read, one of the first books that I was very involved in. Like wanted to get alternate covers and stuff like that. Cliffhanger did it, which was great. And I love this book. I love this creator. So I'm devastated by the news that he died, because he is my favorite creator. Himada Ramos went on to this to do Spider-Man. Brian Azario really never had anything as big as Crimson. He wrote some other stuff. Out There is a really good one that he wrote, and a few other things over the years. There was a book called Limbo City that I've always wanted to read that never got made. So Limbo City, here's the concept, is everything is connected to this one place called Limbo, and this is a crime investigator, but all dimensions, everything kind of meets in this one spot. Really wanted to read that. But I'm very sad to hear that Brian died, and that we have to kind of deal with that and what that looks like, because he was a pioneer in this business and did not get enough work, did not get enough respect for what he did. And most people don't know his name. Like some of you guys watching this don't know. You may know the book Crimson, but you don't know his name. So yeah, I want to talk about that. Kind of devastated, kind of upsetting. On to other good news. Granite State Punk is doing great. Now I mentioned that Granite State Punk is doing great. One more backer from 250. Really want to hit that ASAP. So if you haven't backed, go ahead and jump on and do that. If anybody else has any Crimson stories, you can post about it. But yeah, it's pretty devastating to me. Like I said, that book is my favorite of all time. This cover is one of my favorites. You got the angels, and I wrote basically fan fiction. So one of my first comics and ever writing was a book called The New Eden Project, and it was kind of the same thing. It was kind of a cross between those angels and Dogma. Yeah, so it's very cool. Very cool stuff. If you haven't read Crimson, please read it. Try to buy the trade. Do that. But Granite State Punk is doing. Since I got you here, I figured I'd show you something cool. Let me show you something. So This is our Stefano cover. If you guys know Stefano, it's pretty good. Very, very cool stuff. We're going to add that. We're going to figure out what that means when we add that. Yeah, Ignacio, he is not properly recognized. He is absolutely not properly recognized for what he's done, in the community. But he passed, and I'm sad about it. And I know I'm going to probably write a letter to his wife and stuff and talk about how important Crimson was. Because his work meant a lot to me. It was one of the first indie comics I read and really got invested in. So kind of sad. Just wanted to share kind of this time capsule. I will buy Crimson #7 every time I see it. It's literally my favorite book. So if you're a fan of me, try to pick up. If you don't want to pick up the whole run, that's fine. Pick up Crimson #7. It's like a Christmas special. Very good. I actually get to tell him last year on a Facebook post that how much I enjoyed it and how much it's my favorite, and he said how much he loved it, which I think is cool. But yeah, this is just a quick one. Just kind of going what's on. We got GraniteStatePunk.com up. A couple things. I'll be on Tyler's show tonight, Tyler Carpenter, so that's really cool. Then tomorrow night, I'm going to be on Sparks, You Promised Me Comics, and then at 10 o'clock, we're going to do Creators Forum. Maybe normal format, maybe not. We'll figure it out. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to see if I can get Patrick. Maybe it'll just be me and Patrick. We'll figure it out. But other creators are more than welcome to be part of it and doing it. Joey's here, and he said, yeah, it's a sad day in indie comics. Hopefully Bleeding Cool or somebody will talk about it, because I think the word needs to get out of how much influence he has over the community and how many people he's helped. I have most of the floppies for that I bought as they came out. I'm my favorite. Yeah, so I can't stop the tears, man. He lives near me. Oh man, that's even more devastating. Yeah, he is. He's one of the best. He's one of the best, and devastated. Devastated. He's such a good creator. Crimson is such an amazing book. You guys don't know who you met. Humata Ramos is only important because of him. And that book, Crimson, was written, from what I understand, and if I'm wrong, I apologize, but if I remember correctly, reading in the backlog, it was a D&D game. It's a D&D game that him and his friends kind of put together, and they kind of compiled it and kind of wrote the story, and he kind of rewrote it. So he was writing this comic for his friends. So, but anyways, I got to go.